All right, so I want to welcome everybody back to another great episode of From Me to You Sports Talk. I am joined here today with Stan. He is going to bless us all with his presence once again. He has been on 3 weeks in a row, so I'm very excited to have him. But right now, we got a lot of stuff that's going on in basketball. We have the All-Star situation, right?
Right.
And they actually changed the whole format up. So right now, we have two captains, right?
Two captains.
Two captains are going to pick everybody. Well, yeah. So what? So how are they going to do it?
Playground format, basically.
Playground.
The two top vote getters will end up facilitating who all is going to be on the team just by them two. It's no longer a vote will determine it.
I got a couple problems with that now because, all right, think about this. What if LeBron James right on the East? We all know that LeBron is going to have he's going to have the most votes, and then Steph Curry on the West is going to have the most votes. Now, what if LeBron James says, you know what, I'm going to choose Kevin Durant with my first pick instead of D Wade? So this is going to actually have a lot of people clashing against each other. And you got to think about it. The NBA had nothing else to do. Like, they almost had their hands tied behind their back. Because you got to think about it. The West, when you compare the top players in the West compared to the East, it's not even fair. So we know that we are watching another All-Star game.
You believe that still?
It's not fair at all.
You think the West is that much more dominant on an individual basis as far as All-Stars go?
Yes.
I can't say that.
Okay, so all right, so who would be your starting five from the East? If you had to do an East with them picking, and you know the big man position is dwindling.
It's optional right now. It's optional. Let's go from center. Go from center.
Okay,
down.
so center. So center on the East would be Hassan Whiteside
or Andre Drummond. No problem.
Andre Drummond. Okay.
Or Andre Drummond.
So the four.
Right.
You don't even really have fours too much. It's more of the small forward playing the four. Because remember, Melo have started on the East a couple times at the four.
Very true.
So let's say, Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is either 4 or 4. Him and LeBron are going to change in that moment.
Okay, so Giannis, LeBron, at the 3. At the 2 is going to be who? Who the best you going? Waiters, maybe?
No, you can't go him. Oh, man. That's a tough one.
Waiters are D.
That's a tough one.
It ain't going to be D Waiters.
Can't be Waiters. You could go Kyrie with a point guard. It is just combo guard.
Okay, so who at the 1 now? Guard. Who at the 1? Kemba Walker or Isaiah Thomas? Or John Wall?
Maybe. John Wall. And then, John Wall's a lock.
Okay, John Wall's a lock. And then we also have Bradley Beal. So don't forget we got Bradley Beal. Yeah. Now, you know how easy that was for me to just name those players?
Right.
Now, watch this. On the West, I can have Steph starting at 1. Westbrook starting at 1. Damian Lillard might get snubbed once again. Y'all CJ McCollum can also play the 1. So that's 4 point guard.
James Harden.
James Harden at the 1. So we're just going to go from the 1, then we're going to go to the 2. So we got James Harden. Who else do we have? Lonzo. I don't know Lonzo. But fan votes. That's all it's about.
True.
If the fans like you and they can get enough votes, then you're going to get in there. So Lonzo Ball at the 1. Then you got Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1. So that's about 7 or 8, and I don't want to leave nobody out. Eric Bledsoe.
Right. Oh, that's West.
West. Yeah. We on the West.
Yeah.
That's already 8 players on the West now. So when you go to shooting guard, you got Jimmy Butler. You got Wiggins.
You got the other boy
Klay Thompson.
You got the other boy from the Suns too.
Yeah.
Devin's a problem.
Devin Booker. And then we go to 3. I'm not trying to miss nobody at the 2. I'm pretty sure that there's other players, but we just giving y'all just like a general rundown of just how hard it would be if you would just do the West and the East. So I think that it is a good idea to let these guys pick because, like I said, if you just let the East pick, not let the East pick. If you just do the traditional East versus the West, it's going to be bad. Like,
I think
who's going to come off your bench?
I think either way it goes, you're going to have a dilution in talent in the East Coast. It's kind of how it is right now. It's how the market is set up. Unfortunately, everybody's gravitating towards these Western Conference teams. But I think individual talent is still kind of comparable. It's somewhat as far as the All-Star game goes.
How do you see
whole
that?
Teams? No. All-Star game? Yes. Like, is Kyrie Irving that much worse than Steph Curry? No.
Oh, I don't think he's worse. I think Kyrie's better.
Is Giannis that much worse than
No,
Kawhi?
but when you go to the bench, how does it play? And then we got to think about it. These coaches might not even put the bench players in. They might just say
12 players.
Yeah, they might just be like, well, you know what? We're gonna just leave these guys. And you're right. When you actually sum it up like that, like the way you just did, when it's 12 players and it's just an all-star team, and not the Hornets, not the Knicks,
right?
Versus the Spurs or the
no
Rockets.
Contest
It does kind of bridge the gap. somewhat. I would say in that sense. But you got to think about it, though. You never answered my question. Okay, I didn't even answer the question. So what about this, right? If LeBron picks Kevin Durant first, how is D-Wade going to feel about this? Because we know that when we go to the court with our boys, you gotta pick up the same team that you came with. I mean, that's just how it is.
When you get to the professional level, it's no longer about friendships or personal relationships in general. It's about a product. That's really what it is. What product can we put on the field or the court that's going to be best?
So do you think LeBron James with the first pick would choose D-Wade over anybody on his team?
LeBron gonna try to win. Whoever's the best player available,
and
he's gonna pick him.
You don't think that'll be like that'll cause like a drift between any of his players at all? You mean to tell me if LeBron James
be friends though?
If LeBron James picked Russell Westbrook, right, instead of Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Say at the halfway point, Isaiah Thomas and Russell Westbrook is in a race for MVP, right?
Right.
And LeBron says, you know what? I'm not going to pick you, Isaiah Thomas. I'm going to go pick Russell Westbrook. And Isaiah Thomas winds up getting snubbed. He never get picked by both teams. Or he does get picked by the West. Then what?
I think it depends on how his contract is structured. If he has clauses in there for All-Star game appearances, maybe, then I think that could cause some friction because you're taking money out of this man's pocket now. But if it's not that way, I mean, what at the end of the day, we play on the same team.
So this could become more personal, though.
Maybe.
This is the thing where I'm coming from.
If that's the case.
This is where I'm coming from. Now, All-Star game can be more personal. Oh, I don't like you, Draymond Green, for what you did to me last year. So you know what? I'm not going to pick you. Or you know what, Kevin Love? I think that there's a bunch of other guys who are much better than you who probably don't play for the Cavaliers, for instance, who might play for the Miami Heat or something. So I'm going to go choose a backup power forward. And then what about that? What about guys who probably shouldn't be who should not be in the All-Star game, who are actually on an All-Star roster?
That happens all the time, especially with fan voting. Zaza Pachulia,
that was
second most.
Yeah, he almost
got in there.
He almost
ridiculous.
He almost got in by popular vote. And then this time, so I wonder, how are they going to choose the captains? Did they actually come out and say?
I believe it's the top 2 vote getters.
Okay, so the top 2 vote getters.
Top 2. Which is invariably going to be who? Probably
LeBron James and Steph
Curry or Durant now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Steph. It's definitely going to be Steph.
Could be.
I think Steph, as global speaking, Steph is up here. Kevin Durant is the man.
I don't know.
Kevin Durant is one of my favorite players, but yes, globally,
it's hard
Steph.
To say that. It's hard to say that.
Globally, Steph dominates Kevin Durant. I think.
I don't know. I think this Nike thing with Durant, they're really catapulting him now. He's over in China. I mean, he's everywhere now. He's MVP of the finals.
But look, remember, think about this. When you go into the mall and you go into these stores and you see all of these kids, what are they buying? They're really not buying LeBron James shoes. They buying Steph. I'm not seeing so many.
Number 1 jersey was LeBron James.
Of course.
Let's not forget that.
I don't see so many people. I don't see so many kids coming there wearing number 30. I've never even seen nobody wear this number ever. And Steph has really took this number and, just put it on a global market because, his father, Dale Curry, I'm pretty sure a lot of you listening knew that Dale Curry played in the NBA and Steph. And it runs in the family. Right. The shooting. His brother, Seth, now Duke is my favorite basketball thing. Seth was nothing like Steph. I gotta say that.
I think he was something like him.
No, he was nothing.
I think he can't create like Steph can. That's the problem. That's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference.
That's a big difference, though. Whenever you can't create your shot, and I'm like, man, if you just switch, put Steph on Duke team, they win.
I mean, do you really think that, though? In college basketball is not dominated by one guy. It never has been, and it never will be. That's how it's structured.
It's a team.
NBA, maybe so.
We see that with Kentucky.
Right.
Kentucky literally might have the best point guard, best shooting guard, best center, best power forward, best small forward. Might have the best. I want to say the best team. They have the best individual talent.
But
when you actually put them together and say, all right, I want you to go beat Wisconsin, they have lacked at that time. And a big reason for that is because the whole rookie thing. I think the next thing they need to do is they need to do something about this age limit. You got these guys going to, I've said this, you got these guys going to college for 1 year, of course. All right. Their dream is to, feed their family, provide for their family, go to the NBA, go to the NBA and actually make a living, right? They're going in at 19 and they're not developed at all. A lot of them can't make a left-hand layup. A lot of them probably can't dribble with both hands. I think it should be 3 years.
I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far.
You mean to tell me there ain't nobody in the NBA who can't make a left-hand layup?
I don't believe so. No, there's nobody in my high school basketball team that can't make a left-hand layup. They all can make left-hand layups.
Competition is different.
But
because I'm pretty sure the best person at your high school basketball team probably will go out and drop 50, 40 points on somebody. Put that boy in a college uniform, and then you see what he do. He shrivels up. A lot of players shrink in a moment.
Layup, though? I'm just saying.
Yes.
That's a little overboard.
It's not.
Right,
no, it's not.
Overboard.
It's not.
What I will say about the 3-year thing, I'm totally against anybody denying the opportunity to work or to get money off their talents, because in other sports they don't treat you that way. But if you're a soccer player, if you're a hockey player, if you're a baseball player, you are allowed to chase your dreams at 18, sometimes 17, with parents' permission. Why is it different for the NBA or the NFL? Why does it have to be
okay,
different?
For the NFL, we know. You should not be. At 18?
Why?
What 18-year-old is ready to go?
Adrian Peterson could
Yeah,
have
I've seen
played
that.
as an 18-year-old kid.
And we see Adrian Peterson going in at 20-some years old and getting his knee blown out just about every other year.
They say
anyway.
Calvin Johnson could have played as an 18-year-old kid.
With the speed of the NFL?
Yes.
I don't know.
Scouting
I mean,
report.
you might have exceptions like a Bo Jackson.
Right.
Bo Jackson's probably, but that's a once-in-a-lifetime talent that you get in the NBA.
People. You're still denying people.
It's not. You have to protect the game. You have to. Think about it. In the NBA, this is the problem. You have a lot of these watered-down players who aren't that good. Well, I'm not gonna say they aren't that good, because you gotta be good to go to the NBA.
You underestimate the talent that it takes to make the NBA.
You gotta be good to go to the NBA. But when you see guys, and I've said this, like Perry Jones. Perry Jones came out of high school,
Baylor, right?
highly, Baylor, highly ranked.
I know he is.
You get to the NBA and it's like, what are you doing? So you can't make a mid-range jump shot. Hashim Thabit, he actually stayed and actually still stunk it up.
7'3" though, man.
He actually stayed and still stunk it up. But my point is, some of these players that are going just aren't ready, and that's why we have the super team. That's why we have Kevin Durant. Like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go play with Golden State, because the guys that y'all are drafting are not good enough to really get me to the next level. That's why you have the LeBron James going to play away. I mean, think about it. This league is dominated by veterans. Guys who have been in the NBA for a while. Lonzo Ball, it's going to take you a while to really, I mean, you're going to go in there and probably ball drop, 14 points, 6 assists and all that. But on a global scale, you're going against the Golden State, you're going to have to wait at least 5 years until that team breaks up. You got Ben Simmons.
That's everybody, though. What team is not going to have to wait on Golden State to go through their run? Who's not being dominated by Golden State right now? We can't blame it on rookies. Everybody got rookies. Everybody got undeveloped players. Everybody has talent that's not to the level of Golden State right now. Everybody's chasing them.
Yeah.
So we can't blame them necessarily. We can't blame the rookies now saying they're undeveloped. They're under this. They're just players like everybody else.
But I think it's as clear as day. I mean, you cannot tell me. Okay, what's the guy? Josh Jackson from Kansas.
Josh Jackson.
He can jump out the gym.
Suns, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Probably can't throw a rock in the ocean. I can literally go down a top 10 players and tell you flaws in these guys' game. Some guys aren't ready.
I can't agree.
Jamal Murray.
You know the thing. Hold on. When you see people playing in any other type of organized game, like what the Drew League, the bum from the NBA go to the Drew League and drop 50 on guys that play college basketball and pro basketball overseas, getting paid to play the game. It's just a different level, man. Everybody got talent.
I'm about to tell you a story.
The worst player is talented.
I'm about to tell you a story. This is how I know. It's about competition. Me, see, I was a guy that was pretty good in basketball. I think I was pretty good in basketball. But once it was Friday night and I had to, play in a freshman team, I had to throw that uniform on. Total different. I almost pooped on myself. I was nervous. It was like, it was the lights. It was me having to make a move and get past a defender. Now I'll say this: if I was to go out there on a Saturday night and we just having fun at the park, I go off and I'll be doing a bunch of these moves that I didn't just do in the game.
How long you been playing basketball?
So I was
like organized basketball. How long? Have you played?
Organized basketball. Maybe what? 10?
Exactly. Most people that play professional basketball, professional anything, they start when about 4 or 5 years old. Yeah. I started playing. I'm not a pro when I was 5 years old. Josh Jackson, probably the same. It's different, man. It's very different.
It's the level of competition. You do.
Play AAU basketball, grassroots. We're going to talk about that later as well.
Okay.
You play that at a young age. You get in front of those lights when you're down here in Orlando playing at the Wide World of Sports, and you got 300 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people watching you play when you're 10 years old.
But the NBA is different. The NBA is different because you got to think about it.
You get conditioned for it.
You do get conditioned, but when you're 10 years old, when you're 15, you're not used to guys being able to run just as fast as you, being able to cross over just as fast as you, being able to actually stay in front of you. You got to think about it. A lot of these athletes who are just like what's the guy? Zion Williamson from Zion Williamson. I don't
Young
know
kid. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
He can jump out the gym, but it's like you at the high school level doing that. And I want to see the next step in his game is, can he shoot the ball? Can he create? Because at college it's gonna get a little harder, and in the NBA you're not. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna be able to do that, but it's gonna be that much harder. Now you're gonna have another 6'8" body on you. How many 6'8" bodies in high school can actually stay in front of this guy? Who actually have the athleticism to stay in front of him, and who actually have the IQ?
Well, when he goes to play AAU basketball, it's a little different. When he's playing against his high school, the talent pool is diluted. When you go play AAU, not sure if you've ever seen it. Everybody can play. Like, there is no bum on the team. The 12th guy on my AAU team could give you buckets at your high school. Like, no problem.
Yeah, he could.
So he's going to go against competition that way. And those same kids are going to Kentucky. They're going to Villanova. They're going to KU. So it's hard to say, well, he can't play against competition. In 5 years, they're going to be in the NBA. All of those kids.
I'm not
in the NBA.
I'm not saying he can't play. I'm not saying he can't play against the level of competition, but I'm saying there's still different levels to this. True. You got to think about it. When Steph Curry came into the league, a lot of people compare him to Steve Blake. I think that was on his draft report.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's actually disrespectful. When Steph was at Davidson, this was a guy that went to the Elite Eight. Right. He pushed the envelope. This was a guy that we haven't really seen shoot from everywhere like that. Now, we've had Adam Morrison.
Take it back.
Pistol Pete.
Okay,
I am, but I'm talking about what they're
I'm going to throw another name out there. Chris Jackson, sir. You got to say Chris Jackson.
Okay, all right. Chris
Mahmoud
Jackson.
Rauf. Yeah, the guy.
Yeah, JJ Redick. But being able to actually transcend, go to the NBA, because I don't know if the level on Steph Curry was that high to a lot of people. And he did go top 10. I think he went 8.
Yeah.
He wound up going 8. But this is a guy that had to get his handles better, because we know with a lot of shooters like that, like Steph still doesn't have the best handle. To me, the best handle in the NBA by far is Kyrie Irving. And then it might be Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford, yes, sir.
See, we're already on the same page right there. Kyrie and Jay Crawford, it's not even close with anybody else who third. It's like you got to put a ellipses back there, and then you got to put anybody else in. But Steph took his game to another level. You got C.J. McCollum that went to Lehigh.
Right.
C.J. McCollum was a guy that wound up being Duke, and it was times I would sit back and I would watch. I would say, why did this guy just beat us? And I would look and I'd be like, okay, fast forward 5 years later, 3 years later. Oh, this is C.J. McCollum. He's in the NBA who's dropping 30 on everybody. This is a guy that really nobody can really guard in the NBA. So now I see why, and it's all about leveling up. Now think about this. In Steph class, if we was to actually look at the draft, there's probably other guys. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Going into college, Steph Curry probably was not, top 50 point guard in the country.
Definitely not.
You know how many other point guards was in front of him? How many other guys who were actually told that, you're everything and you're gonna have the world at your toes and you don't have to get better. We see that with guys. Right. But Steph Curry had the discipline. Of course, he had the work ethic to get better, and he actually put in the time, and now we see Steph. So that's what I'm talking about with level.
Take into consideration that he has a father.
That don't mean nothing.
Oh, it does.
That means a little bit.
A ton.
That means because right Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest.
Exactly.
The greatest player ever. And what about his son?
There's a lot of second-tier players that were NBA guys, and then they have sons who are better than them. That's what actually happens. Michael Clay Thompson's father was in the NBA as well. Yes. You don't know who he was, and what's his first name?
What, Michael Clay Thompson?
What's Michael Thompson? Michael Clay Thompson daddy's name?
Michael.
What's Clay Thompson daddy's name?
I would think Michael.
Exactly. If there wasn't for Steph, you wouldn't know who Steph Curry was. Really. You wouldn't really know who he was. Yes. No, you wouldn't.
Because you're really good.
The average fan would not know who he is. Michael Jordan, there is no person in this whole world who doesn't know who Michael Jordan is. So if you're his son, the pressure is enormous.
That don't mean you shouldn't. You have to live up. This is Michael Jordan. He can put you in any camp.
Oh, no. But at the same time, if I'm Dale Curry, I have the resources to put my son in these camps just as Michael Jordan can as well. I can put him with Tim Grover, who's the best trainer in the whole world. I can put him in the same room with these people because I have the financial resources.
So you're trying to say pressure is the reason? So you don't think Steph Curry had pressure?
Pressure is a big deal. Not to the level of Michael Jordan Jr., really. Like Michael Jordan Jr. versus Steph Curry, pressure, not the same. It's ridiculously not the same. Mountain versus a molehill.
You got a point, but pressure busts pipes. You got to be one of the people that actually is like willing to take the pressure, and you got to do something with it. Michael Jordan's son should have. I mean, he did play at college. He played at Illinois.
UCF, one of them as well. Yeah, he was the better one. I felt UCF.
UCF, yeah. He actually got a store down in I think Orlando. Yeah, a little shoe store that'll be selling crazy Jordans for like $500, $700 and stuff like that. But You know, what was his name?
I forget his name. I forget his full
Jeff. Was it Jeff?
Jeffrey was the one that went to Indiana, and then I want to say he went to. Don't give me the line.
Yeah, don't give me the line. All right, but this Jordan guy, yeah, honestly, it was a pressure both of the players to actually perform, and Steph, he did it. But I don't think you can take anything away from Steph. Is that what you're trying to do?
No. I'm saying the circumstances were better suited for him to level up in that moment.
So LeBron James' son is
crazy pressure on him, man. But Jason Williams' son, not the same thing. He's also a beast too. I'm talking about with Mike Chocolate, like White Chocolate.
Okay.
His son's a problem. Yeah, definitely.
Jay Will.
It's a different level, man. It's different, man. It's like if you Ken Griffey Jr.'s son. If you Ken Griffey Jr., come on, man. You playing baseball, you got to be that guy.
Pressure, but
you have to be that guy.
Okay, and how long have they been actually living in the spotlight? How long have these guys actually been going through this? Think about it. If I'm Ken Griffey Jr.'s son, I've seen my dad, of course, I don't remember when I'm 1, 2, 3, but 4 or 5, you're around a batting practice. You are able to soak in all of this knowledge. So, it's true. Pressure, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be on that level if you have the resources to actually get there. But I know the reason. A lot of these guys lack motivation. And and a guy that I want to say, O.J. Mayo, he actually played in Cincinnati. I went to go see him play. This is the best player by far that I've ever seen play in person.
Yes, sir.
But this is a guy who never got better. And we see this happen time. He didn't get better.
Whoa.
O.J. Mayo never got better after high school. After O.J. Mayo left and went to USC, played his year, he dropped 20. Right. I think he should have won. He should have won freshman year.
I think he did. If he didn't, who did?
Derrick Rose. Did Derrick Rose get that? I think Derrick Rose. Sure. I think Derrick Rose might have got a blame. I think OJ should have won the butt.
Oh yeah.
This is a guy. He's kind of a tweener. He's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
He played a 1 or 2
combo guard.
And it's like combo guard, but it's like he never got better. So when you look at a guy like Steph, who came in and was right here, and who, catapulted up here, you look at the work he put in. Damian Lillard, having to go to Lehigh and go to these little programs, these guys almost build up a hunger inside of them. And it can also be a curse because when you have fathers that are in sports, I guess, I want to say like LeBron James,
former pro athletes.
These guys feel like, these guys feel like, man, I don't really have to work as hard as these other guys. I'm gonna get looked at, and I should have a better chance. But what they forget is they don't put the work in after it. So you still got to bring that hunger to the game. And you see guys like I said, C.J. McCollum, Damian Lillard, Kemba Walker, and every guy. Yeah, Kemba Walker. Yeah, he the truth. And I think we actually forgot his name. Or when we first opened up, we was talking about.
No, we said Kemba Walker All-Star.
Okay, all right.
Threw him in there.
You can't forget him, but that's a big problem. Is I think a lot of guys lack hunger, especially. But back to the conversation, I think the NBA definitely needs to go up to 3 years because it's hurting the game.
I don't agree with that, man.
You don't agree with that?
For one, the best players didn't take 3 years to develop. I mean, we're talking about the LeBrons, the Kobes, the Carmelos.
Once in a lifetime players we're talking about.
If they once in a lifetime, why are they in my lifetime then? All these players. They're in my lifetime and yours. Okay. How are they once in a lifetime?
Because they're a once in a lifetime because they have skills that the average guy their size just won't have. How many LeBron James?
Anybody in the NBA.
How many LeBron James?
Anybody in the NBA.
How many LeBron James?
How many people have the LeBron James size and a strength and ability?
A lot, but they don't have the IQ. It's always somebody missing something.
But they have it though. So you inject them with the IQ. I'm saying if you can get it somehow. Now all of a sudden.
How do you inject somebody with the IQ?
I mean, coaching. We're talking about training. We're talking about.
You know how many guys are good. But you got to have it up here.
True.
A lot of guys, you could tell them what to do, and that was one thing about me. Another thing growing up, when I used to play basketball, the coach would say, "Get the ball to the middle of the court." I did not know what that meant. Like I would be on the fast break, we'd be running a 3-man weave, and I had a ball on the wing, and I'm like, how can I get the ball to the middle of the floor if somebody's running right there? Well, duh, he means pass the ball to the middle of the floor so that you can have the defense spread out. Because if you coming up with the ball on the wing, it's much easier to guard you. You're not gonna make a full. You're not gonna make
one half of the court.
Yeah, so it's funny.
And you learn that when you're 5 years old, though. By the way.
Yeah.
So you got to play when you're young, like LeBron did. Like players that have that development process, most of them. Now, if you skip that process, or they just say, "Hey, you're the biggest guy, and we're just gonna let you do whatever," we just roll the ball out. It's different now. I'm pretty sure LeBron didn't have that from his story.
And then we also have guys like Russell Westbrook. Well, I've said that IQ. I think if Russell Westbrook IQ could catch up to his athleticism. Ain't nobody guarding him.
That's tough, man.
Nobody can stay in front of him. No, it's not tough.
He has IQ.
When a guy consistently runs down the court and kicks the ball off of their foot time and time after again, and it's like, Westbrook, when are you going to get? You have to slow up. Westbrook plays at one pace, and you can't take anything away from him because he's athletically gifted. Like, you don't see, he just averaged a triple-double for the season. And by the way, I think I said this, I called that before the season started because Russell Westbrook mentality is me. So it's either Russell Westbrook get the ball or nobody gets the ball. And that's been my biggest thing with him because it's like, when does that mindset also like become selfish?
I gotta challenge that, man.
He's selfish.
I have to challenge
He's
that.
selfish. Yes.
But check me out though. All right, let's just go from a very basic level at this. Triple double. What did he get triple double in?
Rebounding, points, and assists.
What's the last thing you just said?
Assists.
How do you get an assist?
See, I knew you was gonna ask that. How do you get an assist? You have to pass the ball to someone.
Man. So how am I being selfish by averaging double-digit assists on a team where I'm obviously the best player? I'm the best scoring threat. I'm the best every threat.
Good question.
How is he selfish?
And I have an answer for you. You want me to tell you why?
What's up?
Because if it was up to Russell Westbrook, if it was nobody in his way, he would have shot the ball every time. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's either Russell Westbrook get the rebound or nobody gets the rebound.
So you saying that
he had to pass it.
So you said he gets the ball.
He's gonna get a score.
He's dribble,
yeah,
then
like,
okay, I gotta pass it now.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
You gotta watch these games.
I do watch the game.
Yeah, you gotta watch these games, man.
I do watch the game. I'm telling you.
They play a lot of pick and roll. Billy Donovan puts him in these situations where it's screen and roll. The guy is using his speed to get to one area, and he's making the pinpoint bounce pass a lot of times to an open Steven Adams or whoever else the case is. I mean, that's just how the game is operating right now. So it's hard to say that he's selfish in these moments.
I know, and I understand. It sounds like that it's like contradicting. Like, how can someone be selfish when they got assist? Because you still got to look at the person. I'm telling you right now. If Russell Westbrook go out there 105, this guy probably would go play 105 best, and he does it. He has players out there, but then at times it's also about the talent that you put around Russell Westbrook. Because the shooting guard.
Who was the shooting guard last year?
Robinson. You leave this guy open, he might throw a brick. He might build a brick house.
Victor Oladipo.
Oh yeah, and they gave him $80 million for no reason.
You. Why?
Because you know what I'm telling you why? He was actually in Orlando balling, and then guess what? Oladipo was a guy that I was like, you know what? I heard comparisons about Victor Oladipo and D-Wade. At Indiana, Victor Oladipo was really good. He gets to the NBA and he doesn't do half of the stuff he was doing. That's what I was talking about the level of competition right there.
Were you around in 2002 to watch D-Wade play at Marquette?
Yes. I was in fifth.
Okay, so you can say that when you watched D-Wade play at Marquette, that he was of the same level as Buddy was at Indiana? Can you really say that with a true... Like, I'm talking about with a straight face, without laughing.
No,
can you say that?
Can I say that?
Like, seriously?
He showed some of the same flashes at D-Wade. No, he didn't.
Way to save it.
See,
but you know better.
He showed some of the same flashes that D-Wade showed at Marquette.
I'm talking about consistency. That's what the NBA is all about, by the way. I don't care about your potential, even though that is how a lot of people get drafted. But consistently, D-Wade was the focal point. He also got everybody better. You can't name another player off Marquette while he was there. Go. Can't name him.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. What's the shooter?
Go.
What's the shooter name? Hold on.
Boy, you good if you can, because I can't.
The shooter, he can shoot real good. I'm about to pull his name up.
No, you got to just come up with it.
I know what I'm talking about.
He played for the Knicks.
He was number 20.
He played for the Knicks. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Played for the Knicks.
It wasn't Devendor. Hold on. I'm going to get it. He can shoot really good, because that's it. That was the only other player I remember. But you know what's his name? Right. You know what I'm talking about. What's his name?
I know his name.
What's his name?
I forget it.
You forgot it? Look at you. You just forgot it. Now you just forgot it.
Exactly.
For y'all out there listening, he was number 20 and he played
for the Knicks. He played for the Knicks. I know who he was. I just can't think of his name right now. Honestly.
And guys like that, Adam Morrison, that's another guy. You know, you get to the NBA, Jimmy Fredette. It's a lot of guys that it happens to, but I can't really knock these guys. These guys still play. These guys still stayed 3 years. And they went to the NBA, and it's still they still didn't pan out.
It's a crapshoot, man. I mean, you can't just say that it's a formula that's going to make players be at the level that you want them to be in the NBA. I mean, you got guys that didn't play any college, didn't waste no time, and they got in there and they did what they were supposed to do. And then you have guys who played 4 years get in and they're absolute bums. Right. So how do you explain that? Okay. What's the solution at that point? 4 years didn't work. Adam Morrison did it.
Oh. I said it'd be worth player development. NBA, the developmental league is something the NBA has to use. like they put these players down there, but it's like they're not. I don't know if they pay too much attention to these guys. This is what I say. I think every player should get drafted to the D League. They should play the D League, and then they should show. And then the NBA team should be able to, okay, you know what, this guy, like, I think it's a vetting out process almost because you get to see like what guys can actually play at this level.
That's summer league.
Yeah,
you right now. That's summer league and training camp.
How long is summer league?
Summer.
Yes, maybe 3 months.
The whole summer.
Didn't you talk about consistency?
If you a scout, right? You get paid to be a scout. I'm just saying, if you're a scout, we pay you to do this, right?
Yes.
Man, by the time I'm not a scout, I can watch you for maybe a game, and I'm gonna know a lot that I need to know about you. If I got 3 months and that's my whole job, I'm not doing nothing else. I'm just watching you and seeing how you're developing as a player. If I can't make the call by then, I'm in the wrong profession. I'm done. I need to go do something. I need to work at Walmart.
Well, there's a lot of guys who haven't made that call.
True.
You know, there's also a guy that said take, I guess, Sam Bowie over Jordan.
Come on now.
Come on now. Don't give me this stuff about
Come on now. Sam Bowie.
He went.
You're going to go with Sam Bowie. By the way, Sam Bowie was the correct pick at the time.
Oh, really?
That's what it was.
No, but that's how you got to be able to afford. You got to be able to afford.
Hindsight's
Sometimes you got to be able to sit there like, wait,
man.
Michael Jordan hit that real clutch shot.
Man. Come on.
He hit that real clutch shot on Georgetown and stuff like that.
When he was a freshman? About 3 years ago?
Pay attention.
At draft time, really?
Yeah, like, wait.
Come on, man.
Maybe we should have talked to Dean Smith more and seen how Dean Smith, held Michael Jordan back some. Because Dean Smith, Michael Jordan did say that's the greatest coach that he's ever coached. And I used to give a lot of credit to Phil Jackson. But with this last Knicks stint, it kind of threw me for a loop because I'm like, hold on. This triangle offense, I think the triangle offense was good, but you got to have, Michael and Kobe for that. I think he tried to run it with Carmelo and them guys, and it just didn't look right. I think
it's the evolution in the NBA, too. It has something to do with that because people that are valued at one time, they're not the same value now. The two-guard position, obviously, is not the same as it was in the 90s.
We're positionless now.
The power forward position now has way more value than it did back in the 90s. You had guys like the Smith brothers in Indiana. You had Oakley. You had those guys playing
those guys
starting power forward.
Yeah, and it's like, that's all you can do?
They would never play now.
Well.
Seventh man, maybe. Eighth man, maybe.
The enforcer. They actually have players like that. But now, like Oakley, it's like, so you can't shoot a jump shot. We're about to sag all the way off you, and we're going to help out on somebody else. And nowadays, I guess, if you're too physical, because this is a problem that I have with, I guess, the older generation. They always talk about like how much physical the game was, and I do understand that the game was much more physical than it is now. But if you try to put some of the same things that y'all did back then and now, it's like you'll get fouled out. And I think you might have to have more skill because you have to move your feet. Now, everybody wasn't skilled because it'll be contradicting myself because I was just talking about how the players are coming in now and how I don't think they're ready.
Right.
But athleticism-wise, I would definitely tip my hat off to the guys that are actually playing right now. I don't think it's even...
That's evolution. I mean, that's how it is. Back in the day, people were 5'10" playing point guard. Now you're point guard 6'4", 6'5".
So basically, 50 years from now, we're going to have somebody else.
Thank you.
20 years from now,
LeBron going to look like a regular person to them 50 years from now. I mean, we got 3 LeBrons on our team now.
Crazy.
This is how it is. How the world is.
Because Oscar Robertson, I thought that he was a center. Growing up, I was like, how did this guy do this? And he went to UC, where I'm from.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a guy that's always...
One of my favorite players of all time, by the way.
The Big O?
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, the Big O. A guy who I'm not too high on is Magic Johnson. I'm sorry. He's 6'9", but that's our evolution. So I'm putting LeBron James on it. You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna put Paul George on it. I don't care. I don't care if Magic Johnson played in the post. I say evolution. We got more bodies to throw at Magic Johnson.
Just let me.
All right. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Just get this straight. Mm-hmm. Don't need the floor. Just let me get this straight. Are you saying that Magic Johnson is an overrated basketball player? In the historical context of all time?
No, because you can't say that. That would be disrespectful. What I'll say is I think Magic Johnson came before his time. I'll say that.
Okay. You saved me because I was about to say I don't know what I'm even doing here. Like this is tough because I love Magic. I have a thing for Magic Johnson. Dog. I have an affinity for the way that man plays.
A guy that can't shoot at all.
Well, he could shoot. By the way.
Magic Johnson cannot shoot.
He could shoot mid-range.
3 ball. I don't care. Mid-range. Well, no, mid-range is very...
Mid-range mattered back then a lot, by the way.
Yeah, of course, especially because when they started their offense inside a three-point arc, which I watched a lot of videos on the Bulls, they Ron Harper, they all the way off wrong. Ron Harper, he's coming up giving the ball to Jordan. No,
Right.
our offense now. People got you better pick up Steph Curry at half court or something like that because we're gonna shoot you out the gym. Like our offense is more diverse, and I hear people talk about, oh, y'all don't pass the ball as much and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't say that. For one, I think you have more guys that can create.
True.
You got more guys. You got more guys that can create. Guy like Ron Harper, and I know a lot of talk was. I know a lot of people talked about the Bulls thing. They was like, "Oh, the 96
you keep
Bulls."
mentioning Ron Harper. What you got against Ron Harper?
No, it's just that. It's just, no, he has great defense. Don't get me wrong. Ron Harper has great defense.
Are we talking about pre-knee surgery Ron Harper, or are we talking about post-surgery? Okay, I was about to say, do you remember Ron Harper?
I'm talking
with
about
the
Bulls.
Cleveland Cavaliers, Cincinnati, Ohio. I know you're from there. Do you remember that person?
And I haven't watched too much.
All-star Ron Harper. Give Jordan 30. If Jordan got 35, I got 30. Ron Harper. Do you remember Ron Harper?
How many games did he do this? Don't talk about something that he's done 2 times.
No, I'm talking about consistently a perennial all-star before he got his.
I'm gonna go look this up after this video. I'm gonna go look this up.
Please look that up. I'm talking about ESPN Classic and show you all else, all of that.
Ron Harper,
all of that. Ron Harper was that guy, by the way, who could create. Let's not talk about Ron Harper.
All right. Ron Harper.
Disrespectful.
And we got another topic that we actually got to get to before we actually wind up getting out of here, guys. It was great. You know, I'm glad and I hope that you all stayed around for this long. But the whole Cam Newton laughing at the female reporter. Now, this is my take on this right here. I think maybe the way he went about it was wrong. But I really think, I don't think Cam meant any harm. I just think that kind of blew his mind when he heard a woman that was actually able to break down a game and break down a route tree. She's like, Devin Funchess can do this and that. And you know, people don't hear women, you know, talk about things like that, like who are that, you know, dedicated to sports. You know, sometimes you might hear, and this could come from a woman or a man. You might hear him say like, so what was that route that you ran that he got open in? But she actually broke it down. So I think Cam actually showed his emotion. I think that's something that he should have probably kept into himself and then talk to her after, like, hey, you are really impressed with me because I don't like I didn't really expect for you to say that. And maybe that can be like degrading to a woman almost. I'm pretty sure when people hear that, they might feel that Cam was like degrading her. But I hear a lot of reporters coming at him saying, oh, Cam is unprofessional. They're saying that he's not a credible source and everything like that. I just think that this is a guy that wears his emotions on the sleeve. We seen that after the Patriots game. What happened? After they beat my Patriots, once again, 2-2 tonight. They play the Bucks, and hopefully they beat the Bucks. But anyway, Mike Evans is the beast.
Okay.
But Cam was like, nope, I don't want to talk to nobody because y'all didn't want to talk to me before the game. So that's Cam Newton. I mean, you get what you get with this guy.
All right, so your position on Cam Newton is that you feel he may have projected the wrong image when he responded that way to the female reporter.
Yes. I just
I want to make sure I'm getting it right before I go. Okay. I have to take that a different way, man.
Okay.
Only reason why is because would you say that to a male?
Gotcha.
I'm talking about beat writer, not like an individual who's just a fan or just an average person coming across you and asking you a question about Devin Funchess. We're talking about this is this lady's job.
Yes.
Like if she's an astronaut, are you going to question her about I guess trajectories? Right? Are you going to do that? I mean, that's her actual job. She went to school for this job, so it's difficult for me to give him a pass while he's responding in the way that he did to that woman because she was a woman.
So do you think he was being smart? Do you think he?
I think that's very chauvinistic, man. And I'm not a Cam Newton fan, as we already know. I'm not a Cam Newton fan, but I'm also not an antagonist of Cam Newton. I don't really care about him at all. But in that moment, I feel like he is dead wrong. I just feel like it's no way around that. That's kind of egregious to a certain extent.
That's kind of a tough slope.
It's tough.
It's probably just like I wouldn't have responded like that because you can't really look at her gender and then base it off of her knowledge of something. And maybe that's what he was doing.
She got a badge. They gave her a badge to come in there and ask him questions. Yeah. They don't give that badge to just anybody, regardless of gender.
So Ron Rivera will have to, I guess, reel him in, and we'll see what happens with that. But I don't think Cam Newton is going to stop being Cam Newton. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another great episode of For Me to You Sports Talk. Like I always say, it's not about who said it first. It's about who got it right.